Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago PD has been hiding its main season 12 villain in plain sight. Chicago PD is a case of the week show by and large. Like its one Chicago peers though, Med and Fire, the show does typically set up a few plot points that take longer to resolve, a case that spans a few different episodes, a decision by a character that takes weeks to make, or a villain that takes an entire season to vanquish. Chicago PD has some of the best villains in the entire One Chicago franchise. It helps that the show deals with the most sordid subject matter, meaning villains can be as gnarly and cunning as one can possibly imagine, and we're excited to confirm that the next major PD villain is someone you already know well. Charlie Reed, Sean Hatosy, is the character that the IU will have to overcome in Season 12. The deputy chief for the Chicago Police Department was introduced in the episode 1099 and has remained a consistent, albeit minor presence throughout 2024. He appeared in 2 more episodes prior to Penance, but it was the fall finale where he made his true intentions clear. After the IU scrambled to protect Dante Torres, Benjamin Levy Abular, for getting involved with drug lord Gloria Perez, Yara Martinez, Reed sprung into action and seized his opportunity. He sidled up to Hank Voight, Jason Begg, who protected not only Torres but Kim Burgess, Marina Squirciati, and made it clear that he wants to be friends moving forward. Friends in this context could not have a more nefarious meaning. Reed knows Voight's reputation, and without saying it, he knows he can scratch the surface and come up with dirt on the veteran IU leader. Voight does not have a spotless record, as anybody who has watched a few episodes of PD can attest to. Reed asked lots of questions about the Torres situation throughout the fall finale, and the fact that he'd alluded to using information he's dug up in another way suggests that he doesn't intended to turn in the young cop or Voight. He wants to play a subtle game of blackmail with the IU and use what he knows, or at least thinks he knows, to bolster his own power in the department. There's always a bit of a double standard when it comes to Chicago PD, given that Voight and the IU team have definitely done some shady things in their day. They've even blackmailed federal officers to get out of trouble. When it's someone new coming in, though, and targeting the occasionally crooked cops we know and love, that's different. As Season 12 of Chicago PD unfolds, fans have been captivated by its blend of action-packed investigations, emotional character arcs, and unexpected twists. But what if the show has been pulling off one of its most ambitious narrative feats yet? What if the true villain of the season has been hiding in plain sight all along, cleverly woven into the fabric of the team's lives and the cases they're trying to solve? This theory dives deep into the subtle clues and narrative breadcrumbs that suggest someone close to intelligence might be more dangerous than anyone realizes. The quiet threat. Deputy Superintendent Kara Vance. Kara Vance, introduced in Season 11 as the no-nonsense deputy superintendent overseeing intelligence, has always seemed like a straightforward character. She's tough, unyielding, and committed to cleaning up corruption in the department, a mission that aligns with Hank Voight's own moral evolution. However, there's something almost too polished about her. She's quick to praise Voight's team but just as quick to subtly undermine their autonomy. She demands accountability while fostering an air of mistrust. And then there's her habit of showing up unannounced at crime scenes, often offering helpful suggestions that steer investigations in unexpected directions. What if Kara Vance isn't the reformer she claims to be? What if she's manipulating intelligence from within, orchestrating chaos to serve her own hidden agenda? Chicago PD Season 12. The villain hiding in plain sight. As Season 12 of Chicago PD unfolds, fans have been captivated by its blend of action-packed investigations, emotional character arcs, and unexpected twists. But what if the show has been pulling off one of its most ambitious narrative feats yet? What if the true villain of the season has been hiding in plain sight all along, cleverly woven into the fabric of the team's lives and the cases they're trying to solve? This theory dives deep into the subtle clues and narrative breadcrumbs that suggest someone close to intelligence might be more dangerous than anyone realizes. The quiet threat. Deputy Superintendent Kara Vance. Kara Vance, introduced in Season 11 as the no-nonsense deputy superintendent overseeing intelligence, has always seemed like a straightforward character. She's tough, unyielding, and committed to cleaning up corruption in the department, a mission that aligns with Hank Voight's own moral evolution. However, there's something almost too polished about her. She's quick to praise Voight's team but just as quick to subtly undermine their autonomy. She demands accountability while fostering an air of mistrust. And then there's her habit of showing up unannounced at crime scenes, often offering helpful suggestions that steer investigations in unexpected directions. What if Kara Vance isn't the reformer she claims to be? What if she's manipulating intelligence from within, orchestrating chaos to serve her own hidden agenda? The clues we've missed. The pattern of disruption throughout the first half of Season 12. Many cases have ended with surprising outcomes. Suspects escape just as intelligence closes in, or key evidence vanishes without explanation. At first, it seemed like bad luck or the result of a well-organized criminal network. But a closer look reveals a pattern. These disruptions often occur after Vance has been briefed on the case or after she's had private conversations with Voight. The personal connection Kara's backstory, though only briefly touched on, includes a stint in organized crime, where she built a reputation for being both brilliant and ruthless. In Episode 3, during a seemingly throwaway conversation with Kim Burgess, Kara mentioned a former partner who didn't make it out of the game alive. Her voice cracked ever so slightly, and the camera lingered on her expression, an odd mix of sorrow and resolve. What if this partner's death wasn't just a tragic loss? What if it was the catalyst for Kara's vendetta against intelligence, who she might blame for failing to prevent it? The obsession with Voight. Kara's interactions with Voight are layered with tension. She respects his results but often questions his methods, which isn't unusual for someone in her position. Yet, in Episode 7, when Voight went off-book to protect a vulnerable witness, Kara's reaction was more personal than professional. She accused him of always playing the hero, and hinted that his recklessness had cost lives before. Was this a reference to something deeper? Perhaps a grudge she's been nursing since their paths crossed years ago? The double agent theory. One of the season's ongoing subplots involves a powerful drug cartel that has infiltrated Chicago, led by the enigmatic El Cuervo. Intelligence has been chasing leads for weeks, but the cartel always seems one step ahead. What if Kara Vance is their inside woman? Her strategic positioning within the department gives her access to sensitive information, and her insistence on streamlining operations could be a cover for sabotaging intelligence's efforts. In Episode 9, a wiretap operation was compromised after Kara suggested a last-minute change to the surveillance team. At the time, it seemed like a simple miscalculation, but what if it was deliberate? The human side of villainy. What makes Kara Vance such a compelling potential villain is her complexity. She's not a caricature of evil. She's a person with motivations rooted in pain and loss. If her vendetta against Voight and intelligence is tied to the death of her partner, it adds layers of tragedy to her actions. She genuinely believes she's doing what's right, even as her methods grow darker. This moral ambiguity aligns perfectly with Chicago PD's tradition of exploring the gray areas of justice. The climactic revelation. Imagine the tension when intelligence begins to piece together the truth. It starts small. Kevin Atwater notices discrepancies in case files that only someone with high-level access could manipulate. Adam Ruzick uncovers a connection between Kara and a known cartel lieutenant during an undercover operation. Haley Upton, whose gut instincts are rarely wrong, starts to suspect that Kara's criticisms of Voight are more than professional. The turning point comes in Episode 14, when a sting operation nearly gets Burgess killed. The team discovers that the cartel was tipped off, and all evidence points to an inside source. Voight, torn between his loyalty to the department and his growing suspicion of Kara, initiates a covert investigation. The emotional stakes are sky-high as Voight struggles with the possibility that someone he trusted might be betraying them.